Hypixel and the Hive are two of the biggest servers in Minecraft, with Hypixel being on Java Edition and Hive being on Bedrock respectively. These servers almost always boast over 20,000 players online at all times, but let's dive in and maybe see which is better. If you play Minecraft, I'm pretty sure you have logged onto a server at least once. If not, give it a try. If that server you logged onto was Hive, you might recall the awesome 3D NPCs, the sheer amount of players that weren't particularly highly experienced, and the crazy amount of different Skywars game modes. And if you played Hypixel, you might remember the amount of cosmetics, or tried playing Skywars, but it really hurts, or the amount of MVPs joining the lobby every second. But first, let's talk about the games. Hive has a lot of games, in stark contrast to the old days, but that's no match for Hypixel, as they have a ton. But what about actual quality? Well, I can't exactly chat for Hypixel, because I play it, pretty rarely, but they have been around for much longer than Hive, and that can often mean a lot of time to perfect things. And whilst I haven't played everything on Hypixel, I would say that the games, on the whole, feel a bit funner. Hive, on the other hand, for me at least, feels a bit generic, especially all the recent updates. The most exciting one was probably Gravity, but that game has kind of died out for me now as well. It's hard to explain, but the games on Hypixel just feel funner for me. And this leads me on to my next point, players. You might expect the games on Hypixel to fill up faster due to the drastically higher player count, however that's not actually completely true. Queuing times usually feel almost identical, and sometimes feel quicker on the Hive due to the countdown typically being less. Oh yeah, and how can we not mention the fact that on Hypixel is way fairer, because you know that everyone else there is playing on a keyboard and mouse. Well, almost certainly anyway. You know it's gonna be even, compared to on Hive, which is Bedrock, and of course you can join from anything. However, something rather unfortunate about Hypixel is some games seem to just be pretty dead. Some games will literally have 0 players playing it sometimes. One of my favourite games on Hypixel, Murder Mystery Assassins, is dead a lot of the time, different to the old days. Some other classic games on Hypixel as well are pretty dead. On Hive, no games seem to be completely dead. Sure, there are games with low player counts, like Ground Wars. However, there aren't any completely dead games, so Hive has done a good job with that. This one will be interesting. Features. For this one, you might automatically think Hypixel, but it's not as simple as that. As remember, Hypixel is a Java server, and Java servers use much more traditional mechanics from the 2012ish days, which haven't been updated since. I'm talking about things like the way every UI has to be inside a chest, or even an anvil or sign UI for typing things, which I find kind of funny. Bedrock Edition has neat things like list UIs and typing UIs. Remember the Hive Sonic event back in 2021? That was such a showcase of Bedrock server capabilities. And I doubt something like this would be possible on the Java Edition server, or at least not in the same seamless way as it is on Bedrock. Due to its whole overhaul and better together in 2017, it got a lot of new features, like even moving 3D models. And if that wasn't enough, these things can be even further customized using resource packs, which by the way, are automatically installed when you join the server and don't require a prompt, or to be reinstalled again midway through the game like on Java. More so related to versions as a whole rather than the servers. But if you meet someone on Bedrock, you can just add them as a friend, like a global friend and not just a Hypixel friend. Speaking of richness, Hypixel feel like they just have more features and richness. There are more players with lots of experience and coins. As whenever I play Hive, I see a lot of players with not a lot of experience, similar to what I mentioned earlier. This can definitely make the games too easy from time to time, as often I just want to play an even game. I don't think I've ever won a game of Skywars or maybe even Bedwars on Hypixel, but speaking of winning, you'll have an easy chance of materializing that dream if you can actually join the server with your current version of Minecraft. Because on Hypixel, they support versions of Minecraft dating back to 2014 with 1.8. And let's take a look at the Hive. Oh dear. Well, it's not as simple as saying Hypixel's approach of supporting old versions a decade old is better, as this doesn't come without its compromises. As mentioned earlier, Java servers tend to lack a lot of the modern Minecraft features like list UIs and 3D NPCs, and a part of the reason to blame for this is the fact that Hypixel supports versions from a decade ago. Now I get that the combat update released in 2016 was so controversial, but in 2024 I think it's best if Hypixel just bite the bullet and move on to supporting modern versions of the game, like CubeCraft. But what about me? Well, I've been a Bedrock player for my whole life, or more like a decade actually, and the first time I played Java was in late 2018, and it was a breath of fresh air. But I didn't quit Bedrock. Java Edition is a great version of the game, but as another YouTuber mentioned, your upbringing really has an impact on you. And as much as I find Hypixel to be a great server and all, I still play Bedrock. Some reasons and that I play on multiple devices. Secondly, Bedrock just feels easier and more logical to me, like the way you don't have to create your own entire Minecraft server just to play with friends. And finally, all the other things I mentioned in this video. To sum up, it's basically preference. Both are great servers, but one has achievements. You can get 30 bow hits, or kill a dragon. Should Hive take notes about this, or is it their downfall? But Hive has Questmaster, which is pretty close. You can also buy a bee, a flying cart, or a boat. Hypixel have some pets, but they don't come close. You could ride on a pig, but there's so much worse. But I hear you. Hypixel has more, like a villager, a wolf, a cat, or a horse. But let's talk about new players, because on Hive it's pretty chill. Want to try Hypixel? Well, you'll get destroyed. Some friends might help, why not give them a call? On Hypixel it's easy, because you can invite them all. Alright, let's cut this short. Hive has Questmasters to keep you being fought, and to get you to buy more, until you're poor. Hive is Bedrock so you can join from a cave, and lets you buy things directly from the game. Alright, time for a big one. It's version support. Now on Hive, this is pretty poor. But honestly, it's not a big flaw. Hypixel's a different story, because they go back far, and there's a reason. Half the players are stuck in the past. At the end of the day, it's your turn to choose. It depends on what features appeal to you. Maybe one day, Minecraft platforms will merge, but until then, this needs to be heard. I hope this video has been informative, so go out there and get those W's.